Welcome to the American Political News, where we talk everything related to politics. Today, our reporter Cassandra Greens is visiting Highlands High School, where she will be interviewing some students to see what they think about the Electoral College and the U.S. electoral process.
Hello, and welcome to the Political American News. My name is Cassandra Greens, and I'm going to interview Jessica while we talk about the Electoral College. So the Electoral College is a process which consists of the election of the electors, the meeting of the electors where they vote for president and vice president, and the counting of electoral votes by Congress. What do you think about it?
I think it's, honestly, a little bit unfair.
Why?
Because, I don't know. Just, the people, don't get to vote, you know? And I really feel that. I feel for them, yeah.
What do you think about Biden giving $4.2 billion to Gaza?
I think it's, really bad. I think we really need a new president. I wanted a new pink Stanley Cup, and now I can buy it because we have to give to the government. For what? They don't even put it in the United States. They send it to the other part of the world. Why do I care for dying children? Honestly.
So, you don't care about dying children?
It's not that. It's just, it's not my problem. So, American tax dollars should be invested in America. Honestly.
Yeah, your salary.
Yeah, my pink Stanley Cup, my golden goose.
Yeah. What do you think about each state's primaries and caucuses?
I think it's honestly so fair because I'm from LA and proud, and I think it's just not fair that Texas gets way more points. It's a desert. Nobody lives there. Nobody cares about them. Honestly, I would vote for Trump, but I can't because California is a blue state. Why? That makes no sense. No sense whatsoever.
Now we will be joined by Jim McGuffin, a political analyst that will give us his point of view about the Electoral College and the U.S. electoral process. Thank you for joining us, Jim. Thank you so much for having me. To me, it's an honor to be in this show. So basically, the Electoral College is a system currently used to decide the U.S. presidency and has faced criticism for not reflecting the national vote and having origins tied to the historically racist benefited southern slave states. This system results in presidential campaigns primarily focusing on a few swing states and apparently undermining the actual political influence of people of color. As a result, a lot of U.S. citizens are advocating for a reforming of the electoral process where every vote counts equally and democracy is enhanced. So basically how it works in the U.S. is that in every state, the local party leaders decide how they want to run the elections. The two most common choices, however, are primaries and caucuses. Primary is just a regular vote. You go to the polls whenever you can, stand in line, and cast your secret and private vote. A caucus, on the other hand, is a public vote. People gather in groups wherever space is available, and then they literally take sides in the room with everyone who likes the same candidate. The groups debate each other, and if people change their minds, they need to physically switch sides. At the end of the debate, the party representatives count the number of people on each group and decide which candidate their state will represent. The votes collected from primaries and caucuses are given to a group of people called delegates who belong to the Electoral College, who in turn give them to the candidates. Depending on the state, delegates are required to vote as a citizen state or are allowed to ignore the citizens and vote for whomever they want. When all the states have finished their primaries, the delegates travel to the National Convention, where the official vote to select each party's nominee takes place. The Electoral College is a system in which 538 electors, based on the number of senators each state has, select the U.S. president and vice president. States generally use a winner-take-all system to allocate their electoral votes to the candidate who wins the popular vote in each state. Electors cast their votes in their respective states, and the results are later counted in a joint session of Congress. The Electoral College was originally created as a compromise during the Constitutional Convention in 1787, balancing those who preferred a congressional selection of the president and those favoring a popular vote. The Electoral College was influenced by the Three-Fifths Compromise, which enabled southern states to count slaves as 3/5 of a person for congressional representation and, by extension, electoral college votes. This gave slave states greater influence in political processes, and some argue that it continues to affect African American voters to this day. Electoral votes are not distributed proportionately by population. Each state gets electoral votes based on its total number of senators and representatives. This benefits smaller states, which have a minimum of 3 electoral votes, regardless of the population. Abolishing the Electoral College outright, even though it has a lot of problems nowadays and it has a complicated history, would require a constitutional amendment, which is why scholars and activists have rallied behind the National Popular Vote Interstate Compact. This would ensure that all states award their electoral votes to the presidential candidate who wins the national popular vote, effectively guaranteeing that the candidate with the most votes nationwide becomes president. Thank you for watching American Political News. Remember to stay tuned to be aware of any development in American politics.